simply allegations, need to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, we'll see what happens if the DA looks and investigates.
It's interesting because, obviously this civil suit was coming for a while,
Yep.
and there was some talk between Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers. I think both Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers are really alpha.
Federal agents weren't even hunting for drama when they pulled up to Diddy's mansions. But what they uncovered? Total chaos. They went in expecting to grab documents and digital files, but what they walked out with has Hollywood in full-blown panic mode. Buried under all the flashy designer furniture, diamond-studded artwork, and piles of celebrity memorabilia was something no one saw coming. Something dark. Hard drives, secret tapes, digital files, all stacked with footage that could blow the lid off the entire entertainment industry. And right at the center of this explosive mess, none other than Jay-Z and Beyoncé, the power couple everyone thought was untouchable. Now, they're smack in the middle of the storm. The rumors, straight up wild. Homeland Security allegedly got their hands on Diddy's private stash. And what's supposedly on those tapes? Unthinkable. Whispers say it shows A-list celebrities in jaw-dropping situations, stuff that could wreck reputations overnight. If those details ever leak, it's game over for some of the biggest names in the biz. And guess who everyone's talking about nonstop? The Carters. Their names are flying through the industry like wildfire. In all the chaos, word is Diddy feels straight up betrayed. He thinks Jay-Z and Beyoncé abandoned him when his legal drama hit the fan. Now, some folks say he's out for revenge, and he's not coming empty-handed. Insiders claim he's got the receipts, files, videos, and who knows what else that could blow the industry to pieces. Now picture this. One of Diddy's infamous private parties, invite only. The kind of spot where only top-tier celebrities make the list. Actors, moguls, athletes, everybody in the room has spent years building their legacy. But behind all the glam, behind the selfies and the red carpet smiles, something else might have been happening. Something the cameras weren't supposed to catch. This isn't just another celebrity scandal. If the rumors are even half true, we're talking about a ticking time bomb sitting in Diddy's vault. These weren't just wild Hollywood parties. Nah, insiders are saying they were setups. Carefully planned, controlled environments where people dropped their guards, blurred lines, and tossed their inhibitions out the window. And guess what? Every single moment was caught on camera. But not for memories. Those tapes, they were made for leverage. Insiders are now calling these events freak-offs. Yeah, freak-offs. Not just A-list get-togethers, but straight-up traps. Celebs rolled in thinking they were in a safe zone, surrounded by their elite circle. But what they didn't know, or didn't want to admit, is that someone was always watching. Every conversation, recorded, every shady glance or sketchy interaction, saved. And now, all that footage is in the hands of federal agents. The weight of this is massive. And while Diddy's true intentions are still murky, one theory is picking up steam. He's playing survival chess. If he's going down, he's making sure he takes a few giants with him. Word on the street is that Diddy didn't get caught slipping. He might have given up some of those recordings on purpose, trying to cut a deal to save himself. And who better to serve up than the Carters? Jay-Z and Beyoncé, the so-called golden couple. Depending on who you ask, they either dipped out on Diddy when things got hot, or they might have worked against him in the background. Either way, people close to him say that betrayal hit deep. And now, Diddy's revenge is looking sharp, cold, and calculated. And here's where it gets even crazier. Jaguar Wright, the outspoken artist who's been calling out shady industry secrets for years, might have been onto something all along. She's accused the Carters of not just knowing about this hidden Hollywood underworld, but actually benefiting from it. People once brushed her off, calling her a bitter outsider. But now, with Diddy's alleged video stash surfacing, her warnings are starting to sound a lot more real. This ain't just some celeb drama. It's turning into a full-blown war of secrets, power, and payback. This whole situation is spiraling way out of control, fast, and it's no longer just about wild parties. The allegations, they run deep, real deep. We're talking about whispers of a full-blown network of manipulation and exploitation that's been going on for decades. Some of the footage reportedly shows big-time celebs, multiple A-listers, caught up in scenes that could land them in serious legal trouble.
After that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past.
We're not just talking bad press. This is the kind of dirt that no PR team can clean up. But here's the real kicker. The Carters? Silent. Stone cold quiet. No tweets. No Instagram posts. No press statements. Nothing. It's like they vanished right when the world's begging for answers. And that silence? It's only adding fuel to the fire. Behind the scenes, though, it's a whole different story. Beyoncé's legal squad? They've been working overtime. Word is, they've been firing off cease and desist letters like crazy, slamming media outlets, pressuring platforms to delete interviews, and straight up threatening anyone bold enough to repeat the most damaging claims. Classic legal defense move, right? But here's the twist. It totally backfired. Instead of calming things down, it made everything blow up even more. Now, the internet's in full meltdown mode. Fans, haters, and everyone in between are digging deeper, rewatching old interviews, analyzing body language, reposting every cryptic lyric or shady moment from the past. And the biggest question floating around? If they've got nothing to hide, why aren't they speaking up? And just when you think it couldn't get darker, boom! One chilling detail has everyone shook. There's talk still unconfirmed about minors being involved. Just the suggestion alone has sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. People are saying underage guests were allegedly lured into these private events, manipulated, and put in vulnerable situations. If any of that turns out to be true, it's not just Diddy in the hot seat. It's anyone who was there, saw it, and stayed quiet. And if the Carters really were at those parties, like some sources are claiming, then their silence isn't just sketchy, it starts to look sinister. This ain't just about laying low anymore. People are starting to wonder what they might be hiding. Now, the raid on Diddy's properties has also pulled a dark cloud back over the mystery of Kim Porter, his late ex, and the mother of 3 of his kids. Before her tragic death, Kim was allegedly working on a tell-all that was supposed to blow the lid off Hollywood's darkest secrets. Folks close to her say she knew way too much. And now? Some of the claims she hinted at are reportedly lining up with the stuff found in Diddy's vault. Chilling, right? With all eyes back on her case, people are asking, was Kim silenced? And if she was, who else might be in danger now that these tapes are coming to light? But wait, it doesn't stop there. Beyoncé's own mother, Tina Knowles, just got dragged into the chaos. A random slip-up on social media had her liking a comment about the allegations against Jay-Z. That one little like, it set the internet off. People started speculating about where her loyalties really lie. Tina tried to clean it up, saying her account was hacked, but it was too late. The damage was done, and the online world went into overdrive, calling it proof that even the Carter camp is starting to fracture. And here's where things get real serious. The heat might not just come from gossip blogs or online drama. The law is closing in. Lawyers representing alleged victims are gearing up to file lawsuits. And it's not just Diddy in their crosshairs anymore. Reports say the legal team might name Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and other A-listers who showed up at these now infamous gatherings. This isn't just a scandal. It's turning into a legal firestorm that could take down the biggest names in the game. If the evidence is real and all signs are pointing that way, this won't stay some messy tabloid scandal. It's about to become a full-blown courtroom showdown. We're talking real charges, real victims, and consequences that go way beyond just damaged reputations. As more alleged victims step out of the shadows, the conversation is shifting, fast. This ain't just celeb gossip anymore. It's starting to sound like a case of systemic abuse that's been hiding behind fame and fortune for years. And yet, with all this chaos swirling around them, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are still playing it quiet. No public statements, no interviews, just tight-lipped silence. Their strategy? Some say it's all about calculated inaction. But what does that really mean? Is it confidence, like they know they're clean? Or is it fear, like they know one wrong move could blow everything up. Some folks believe they're counting on their wealth, power, and long-time industry ties to shield them from the fallout. Others are saying they're gearing up for a legal war so intense they literally can't afford a single slip-up. Either way, the pressure is crushing, and now it gets even darker. Word on the street is that some of the footage might already be leaking. Yeah, the dark web is reportedly buzzing. Secret forums and underground chats are claiming to have screenshots and clips, stuff that could confirm the most shocking accusations if proven legit. And if those files spread, no lawyer, no publicist, no billionaire budget can scrub that stuff off the internet. It's permanent. For the Carters, this has become way bigger than just dodging court dates. Their whole legacy, the one they've spent decades building, is hanging by a thread. And every day that passes, that thread gets thinner. And just when you thought this mess couldn't go any deeper, it does. Because now, the spotlight is shifting to the people who say they were victimized at these secret parties. And their stories, straight up disturbing. One woman, already working with a legal team, claims she got invited to one of these exclusive events under the promise of a career opportunity. But what she walked into was something entirely different. If even half of what's being said turns out to be true, this could rock the entire entertainment world to its core. She thought she was walking into a dream, a chance to star in a music video. The offer came straight from someone deep in the industry, someone tied to both Diddy and Jay-Z. But what she walked into, a nightmare she never saw coming. According to her account, the audition was just a cover. She says the event took place at a massive Miami mansion, lavish on the outside, but hiding a disturbing secret underneath. There were underground rooms that were supposedly off limits to regular guests. Rooms she claims she ended up in. The moment she arrived, she says she was handed a drink, something that didn't feel right. Minutes later, everything started to blur. She got dizzy, confused, and vulnerable. That's when she says people she recognized from the entertainment world led her away into one of those hidden rooms. Her memory fades in and out after that. But what she does remember is now the focus of her lawsuit. We can't even repeat the full details of her allegations, but the implications are deeply disturbing. The kind of stuff that has the whole industry shook. And the most terrifying part? She's not alone. Since the raid on Diddy's properties, over a dozen similar stories have surfaced. Women coming forward from different cities, different backgrounds, all pointing to the same exact setup. Luxury parties, underground rooms, mystery drinks, and high-profile names lurking behind the scenes. Some say they were flown in with promises of fame, exposure, or career breakthroughs, only to find themselves trapped in environments where their choices were taken away. Stripped of power, isolated, and violated. It's not just stories now. Legal filings show that several of these alleged victims have receipts, photos, texts, and even medical reports that back up their claims. And the names being mentioned, they're not just anyone. They're household names, icons, people with billion-dollar brands and global fan bases. If this all gets proven in court, it's not just reputations on the line, it's freedom, careers, and entire legacies. No official charges have hit the Carters yet, but their names just keep popping up in one story after another. And every time, it raises more and more uncomfortable questions about what they knew and what they might have been a part of at these so-called exclusive events.
Mr. Diddy, aka Mr. Love, now.
No, Sean Carter.
Meanwhile, the lawyers repping the alleged victims aren't holding back. They're exposing a system that, according to them, was built to protect the powerful, no matter the cost. One high-profile attorney, who's handled similar explosive cases before, described the whole setup as a fortress of money, status, and silence. He says everything about these gatherings was tightly controlled, from who got in to what got out. Leaks, shut down instantly, non-disclosure agreements, threats, and in some cases, even scarier tactics, But now that Diddy's alleged stash of tapes is in the picture, that fortress might finally be falling apart. And let's get into those tapes, because they've become the beating heart of this scandal. According to insiders close to the investigation, these aren't just random party clips. Nope. The footage allegedly shows a full-on infrastructure of exploitation, planned, calculated, and documented. Sources say these videos don't just show what happened, they show how it all worked. There's talk of guests being strategically lured in, then subtly manipulated into doing things they never expected, while everything was quietly recorded. Some of the tapes reportedly include timestamps, metadata, even GPS tags, proof that can place specific people in exact places at exact times. And yes, reportedly, Jay-Z and Beyoncé's names appear in connection with those timestamps. Their legal team is fired back hard, denying any and all involvement. But as the heat rises, the silence from the Carters is getting louder. This is a couple that spent years building an image of absolute control, flawless branding, perfect timing, total dominance. But now, that polished empire is looking real shaky, and the public wants answers. Flawless performances, perfect interviews, a level of privacy so tight it's almost obsessive. That's the Carter brand, built to be untouchable. But now, their silence in the middle of this firestorm is getting harder and harder to ignore. Fans are split down the middle. Some believe Jay-Z and Beyoncé are being targeted in a dirty smear campaign. But others, they want answers. Now, social media is lit up with speculation. People are asking the same question over and over. Why won't they speak? Are they letting their legal squad cook up the perfect defense? Or are they just hoping the storm passes if they keep laying low? Either way, the silence is screaming loud to a public that's demanding accountability. But behind the scenes, it's a whole different story. Insiders close to the Carters say the pressure is on. Emergency meetings are going down. Legal teams, PR firms, reputation managers. Everyone's in overdrive trying to figure out how to lock this situation down. One source even claims that Jay and Bey have floated the idea of hitting Diddy with legal action, accusing him of dragging their names through the mud as revenge. But here's the problem. If Diddy does have the kind of footage people are whispering about, that move could blow up in their faces. Any court battle could force those tapes into the public eye, and that's a risk the Carters definitely can't afford right now. And it's not just them. The whispers keep growing louder. Those tapes allegedly include a whole lineup of Hollywood's elite. It's not just Diddy, Jay, and Bey. Behind closed doors, people are talking about other megastars from music, movies, and sports being caught on camera. Nobody's gone public yet, but the fear, it's thick in the air. Even longtime friends and collaborators are quietly cutting ties. People are scrubbing their social feeds clean of Diddy connections. And then there's LeBron James. His name's been floating in a few of the lawsuits as someone who might have witnessed certain events. But he's been dead silent, a major switch up from his usual outspoken vibe. The question now, who's next? And how much longer can these big names stay quiet before the truth forces its way out? It feels like the entire industry is holding its breath, just waiting to see who's gonna be named next. But this ain't just about a few celebs getting exposed, if the allegations are true. And if those tapes are really as explosive as insiders are saying, then what we're looking at is way bigger than just damaged reputations. We're talking about an entire system, a culture of silence, power, and exploitation that's been hiding behind fame, money, and luxury for years. The entertainment world has always had skeletons in the closet, but this scandal? This might be the one that finally kicks the door wide open. With federal investigators said to be circling and multiple indictments reportedly on the table, it's looking like the old ways of sweeping things under the rug might finally be done for. So what's next? Are Jay-Z and Beyoncé gonna finally speak up? Or are they still banking on their legal teams to keep the storm away? Is Diddy really sitting on a vault that could torch the entire industry? Or is this just the last move of a man who's got nothing left to lose? And more importantly, what about the victims? Will their voices finally break through all the noise? Or will Hollywood's spin machine drown them out again? We want to hear your take. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you're locked in on this story like we are. Because trust us, this is far from over. We'll see you on the next one.